What I'm going to teach now is, amongst all the lessons that I've presented here, one of the most valuable. It's something I like to call the 4-second rule. Now, you go out and you film a whole lot of footage to bring it all together in your edit suite, and now it's time to actually mold the story. Now, if you're making a big vase, or a big pot, you need a lot of clay. If you're making a small pot, you need enough clay. And that's so common with videographers filming, is that they get to their editing room and they just don't have enough clay. They don't have enough material. To keep an audience captivated, you have to feed them information. So while you might have somebody talking to camera and talking about something very interesting, like I am doing now, without me actually showing other stuff, in other words, having other material to show you, you'd get pretty bored of just looking at my face talking. So what I'm going to do with this particular lesson is I'm going to show examples where I have used this rule while filming and what it has resulted in. So I'm going to run now unbroken camera footage from camera start to camera stop. And I'm going to mark with titles what I'm doing. So you can try and get into my head, because when a whole lot of things happening, I'm filming and my mind is looking at other things, and then I'm finding another shot, and then I'm finding another shot, and I'm finding another shot, and I'm getting all of these different options for storytelling. But here's the secret, and here is this is what this is all about. When pointing your camera at a subject, don't move it at all. 4 seconds is the minimum amount of time where, when you come back in your editing room and there you've got a nice shot, it needs to run for at least 4 seconds, minimum 4 seconds, for it to be useful. If it's 6 seconds, 8 seconds, 10 seconds, doesn't matter, but it must be more than 4. That's why I call it the 4-second rule. When filming, often it's a problem, because you'll be pointing and shooting, and then you'll get back into the cutting room and you'll say, oh, you got that shot and that shot and that shot and that shot. But they're all 1.5 seconds long. They're useless. It's very common. So I'm going to find 3 pieces of footage where I let the camera run. But while I let it run, I was moving, framing, and counting to at least 4 with not moving the camera at all. And when I did move the camera, I was always following a moving object. My principal subject matter was moving, and I moved with it. I'm going to do this a few times because I believe this is so important to good storytelling and being able to grab footage that you can use in the storytelling process in the editing room. Let's get started.
Okay. Oh. Anyone? You want?
在一个老师嘛，然后在那边自拍照，他俩还要发给我看。
我看看，还有前面的一个脚丫子放在外面，你看，谁说拍前挺好？
他也没嫌少。
别那个 PK 的是吧？
你要看我也拍。
玩脚。
Oh, they are take picture them.
They stink. They do. It's a weird sensation. It's going down for a male.
Yeah, I can picture that.
Need some help? You good? Huh? No. Lala. No.
It's a woman multitasking.
Of course she is. I'm a mother. I can do anything. Definitely. Before we ride also here, right? And they go there off.
Okay.
Yeah, when it's not running. No.
Ground
I could get
control
into trouble.
to Major Tom. You've got 4 wheels in the air. Press the button, you will go there. Jeez, that is full. It's not even 5 o'clock yet.
2 Malutis and you're like that already, yeah.
Must be the altitude.
It's amazing what happens at 3,000 meters.
How high are we now anyway?
3,000. 1,800.
So in other words, we're back at Joburg.
3,500.
Up there, on top of that one, would be a 3.5, yeah.
But if it's snow, this is all under snow here as well, eh?
In fact, you won't be at 3.5.
No, it's about 3,000.
Bullshit, man. You'll be at about 2.9. 2.9.
No, we're
I don't
2,500
think
now. 2,500.
We're 2.5, yeah. Okay, yeah. Another 250 was where the main road goes up. Yeah, that's about right. 3.5. No, but 3.5. I don't think the tallest mountain in the Drakensberg is less than 3.5.
3.2 something is the highest.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
I mean, we do a stake in the stone as well tonight. Just the same way. It's amazing what happens at 3,000. It's already done, eh? Might have been a room call. Yeah,
Two down there.
Because I don't know how to tell you this, but it's self-service.
Script and script writing is a subject all its own. What I will say though is this: when planning a shoot, even if your subject matter is so obscure, might be the wrong word, but unknown to you, in other words, you're going out and you're capturing whatever you might see, it's still a really nice idea to have a shot list. Call it a script, call it a shot list. What that means is that when you're actually writing the shot list, you're actually thinking about the story that you're going to tell. You see, it's like if you're just going out to get footage, then you won't actually know what to shoot when you're out there, because you won't have a story in the back of your head. And if you do have a story in the back of your head, there are so many things that you won't think of, on the day while you're filming. And when you are sitting in your editing room or your lounge or your whatever, and you're thinking about the project and you're thinking about the story, you will think of many things that you won't think of while you're filming. So how about combine the two? So what I do is this. I shoot mostly off the cuff. I'll have a trip planned, I'll have some stories to tell along the way, and I will write very broad shot lists. For example, if I go to a particular historic site, don't forget to get a shot of the statue, of the graves, of if there's anything of high detail, high significance to the story, put it in a shot list, because often you'll be shooting and you'll say, let's have a refresher. You'll get something to eat, you'll get yourself soda, and you'll be looking at your script and you'll be saying, oh right, yeah, okay, and it'll suddenly start generating new thoughts. If you are shooting a story that is, well, for example, a documentary which is fairly well scripted, you kind of know what you need to get to tell the story, then a shot list is absolutely necessary. Then it's that time that you actually need to go in more detail when sitting in your editing room or production office, where you're actually sitting down saying, okay, what is the story? Now, let's go forward a little bit and answer the question, what is the story? You need to have an answer to that in terms of what do you want to communicate to your audience. You may have an agenda. Whatever it happens to be. If it's a political thing, you might have an agenda to present some facts in a particular way. Knowing what that is going to affect the shots that you're going to get, and going to affect the questions you are going to ask those people you're interviewing. So having a clear idea of the story you're going to present to begin with is very important. When those extra ideas come in, as you're filming, as you're on the phone organizing things, as you meet other people, as you get more excited about the project, and as it grows and builds because you start gathering information and gathering footage, be flexible. Be very flexible. Be completely open to saying, no, yes, we decided to do that, but this is good also, we're going to do this too. Or actually, you know, this is better than what we first had in mind, because. Revise the shot list, revise the script, be flexible. But having that thought process behind you, when going to shoot, and be prepared for a new set of thought processes while you're shooting and post-shoot, will help enormously in capturing and gathering the footage you need to tell your story. It's a short one on script writing. It is, as I said, a subject all on its own. These are the techniques I use, and I think they're very valuable.